The gutter water pulsed, swollen and muddy after the storm. Raindrops dripped from torn branches. The wind had roared and sung in strange harmonies. In the heart of the gutter river, a little paper boat bobbed nervously, edges soggy, colours blurred, creases softened. The paper boat sighed, though no mouth could speak. The river's current whipped around it, tugging it downstream faster than ever before. That moment, first second, felt very uncertain. The paper boat wondered whether this would be the end, whether the storm's rage spelled doom. Everything felt too big, too loud, and too wild. In those first 30 heartbeats, the paper boat faced its problem. The storm had cast it into a wild river filled with debris and danger, and the paper boat needed to survive the journey. But more than survival, the paper boat needed something harder, something invisible, something called perspective. Because depending on how things were seen, the gutter river could be terrifying or full of wonder. And that difference between fear and wonder would decide whether the boat drifted in sorrow or sailed in joy. Can you imagine being that small paper boat, tossed by water? Can you imagine hearing twigs snapping, leaves smashing, water roaring? What if the paper boat could learn to see adventure where it first saw only danger? The little paper boat had been carefully folded, with clean creases, in a dry room before the storm. Its maker had painted a soft blue stripe along its side, a pale yellow star at its bow. But none of that mattered now, soaked as it was. The paper boat drifted into Gutter River, which smelled of wet earth, rotting leaves, mud and rain. Water sloshed against its sides. It felt shaky, unsteady. It felt small. The inciting incident came when a sudden wave pushed the paper boat into a fallen log. The log moaned as water dragged it. Bark scraped the boat's side, a scratch that made the paper fibers quiver. The boat teetered, nearly flipping over, but then the current shifted. The boat righted itself, trembling with relief. The educational quest emerged. Could the paper boat learn to shift perspective? Could it begin to see the river not just as a threat, but as an adventure, with textures, lessons, surprises? That would be the skill. Looking at things differently, learning that perspective can change everything. The boat tried first to think of the river as only danger. Slamming waves, sharp sticks, swirling whirlpools, it could focus only on these. But after a moment, the river offered something else. The glint of moonlight on slick stones, the echo of raindrops on hollow logs, soft, distant coos of night birds. The boat trembled, then excitedly realized something. If fear was one view, wonder might be another. But the river had 3 distinct challenges ahead. 3 trials that would each ask something of the boat. Each trial would test whether the boat could choose to see danger or see adventure. And each time, the tool would be the same. The boat would count the dangers or count the delights, or shift in some predictable way, so that repetition would reinforce the lesson. After drifting a while, the boat came to what looked like a gorge of debris. Twisted branches, fallen leaves piled high, plastic shards dragging in eddies. Water gurgled around sharp edges. That moment felt loud and threatening. The paper fibers trembled. Could the boat cross this gorge? Something heavy blocked one path. Another was near a sharp stick jutting out. Here, the first exercise, counting danger versus delight. The boat counted 3 dangers, 1 sharp stick, 2 swirling eddies, 3 heavy logs. Then the boat looked for 3 delights. 1 silver pebble shining like a star, 2 soft leaves floating gently, 3 droplets dancing in moonlight. Counting in this way, naming both danger and delight, the boat paused, held steady, breathing in the cool night air, smelling moss, feeling the soft rustle of leaves. Because the boat counted, the scary things became known. They had names, shapes, sounds, and the delightful things shone more clearly. The river still roared, but the boat discovered that for every danger, there was a delight. That counting practice helped make balance. The gorge didn't feel purely terrifying. In counting delights, the boat felt hope. As the boat drifted through, scraping bark, it used the lesson, seeing both, not only danger. The boat drifted past the gorge, edges tattered but spirit uplifted. Further downstream, a whisper in the water warned of something deeper. A swirling whirlpool brewed beneath fallen roots. The moonlight flickered across its edge. The paper boat could hear the water's low hum, feel its pull. The roots scratched the riverbed. The river smelled of damp roots and rot. The paper fibers fluttered. In this challenge, the boat would do the same counting practice, but 3 dangers, then 3 delights, and then a twist, choosing which image to hold in mind while passing the danger. The boat counted 3 dangers: 1 strong pull in the whirlpool, 2 hidden roots snagging, 3 splashes cold and sharp. Then counted 3 delights: 1 gentle glow of fireflies above the river, 2 faint chimes of distant frogs, 3 soft lullaby sounds of rain finishing overhead. The boat held the delights in its mind, those soft, glowing things, as it crossed near the whirlpool's edge. The water tugged. The current threatened to spin it in. But because the boat held delight and remembered delight, it did not panic. It felt that thrill of adventure, wind, water, unexpected curves. What the boat didn't know until just ahead was that the biggest danger was not the whirlpool alone. It was forgetting that delight could still be there. The biggest moment came when the boat crested a wave that might have toppled it, but the hold on delight inside proved strong. The boat passed the roots, skirted the whirlpool, splashed past the twist without flipping. Then the river narrowed. Mist rose from its surface. The night fog bridge lay ahead, a fallen tree arching across water, covered in slick moss, dripping, almost invisible in the dim light. Sounds muffled. Every drop resonated softly. Every rustle was uncertain. What lay ahead? Rocks? Gaps? Slippery surfaces? Here, the third exercise repeated counting danger and delight, but with a new step. Imagining what strength could be born through perspective. The boat counted 3 dangers: 1 slippery moss patch, 2 invisible cracks in bark, 3 drips that might unbalance. Then 3 delights: 1 melody in the dripping water, 2 soft ripples reflecting moon, 3 coils of fog curling like gentle dancers. Then the boat imagined strength. The strength of courage, the strength of wonder, the strength that comes from choosing perspective. Feeling the bark under its bottom, though wet, touching moss with damp edges, smelling the fog, cool, soft, earthy. The boat approached the night fog bridge. The current pulled, or maybe pushed. The boat teetered. 1 crack could let water inside. 1 wrong move could tear paper. But having counted and held delight and imagined strength, the boat passed over the arch. Its edges scraped, but the crossing happened. The boat's heart, or whatever part of itself that felt as heart, beat proud. Now the final stretch of the gutter river loomed. Debris, whirlpools, fog behind, calmer water ahead, but only just. The boat remembered every danger it had faced, every delight it had collected, every moment it had chosen to see adventure instead of fear. A final test. The river narrowed once more into a rushing tunnel under a stone bridge. The storm's last anger seemed trapped here. Water crash, echoing roar, falling stones, sharp edges. Without learning the perspective lessons, the boat might have drifted blindly into fear, torn or wrecked. But the paper boat recalled, first counting danger and delight, second holding delight, third imagining strength. Each tool would now combine. The boat counted dangers: 1 roaring current under the arch, 2 stones threatening to fall, 3 edges that could snag. Then counted delights: 1 echo that sounded like laughter, 2 moonbeams dancing over wet stone, 3 splashes that cooled the heart. The boat held the delights in mind. The boat imagined strength, that steady, brave part that saw beauty in the roar. As the boat entered the rushing tunnel, stones clattered overhead, water pummeled the sides. The boat tilted, toppled, righted itself again. Paper edges frayed, water seeped. But inside, something else soared, the sense that this was its adventure. Every roar was part of song. Every splash was rhythm. Every danger made the delights sharper. Emerging on the other side, the river opened into a calm stretch. The moon broke through clouds. Stars reflected on the water. Cool breeze whispered peace. The paper boat floated, battered but glowing. The river no longer seemed only guitar river after the storm. It seemed home to wonder. The boat learned the core lesson. perspective transforms what could be terrifying into an adventure worth owning. The boat no longer saw the river only as threat. It saw a whole symphony of sound and sensation. It saw that the shape of its fear depended on how it was looking, and that choosing to see adventure gave strength and meaning. At the end, the paper boat drifted into a quiet bay where lanterns bobbed on shore. Reflections danced. Children might have smiled at lanterns if they could see them, but the boat could hear laughter, smell food cooking, taste salt tang from the breeze. In that warm glow, the boat understood that adventure had been what it made of every moment. Counting, choosing, imagining. Next time, a little explorer, perhaps a tiny leaf or a brave pebble, might learn about shapes in the forest of whispers, or emotions in the valley of echoes. What shall we learn next? Will curiosity show us circles and squares? Or will feelings teach us joy and calm? Join in next time to find out. Moral core: adventure is what you make of it. Courage and wonder come when fear is met with choice.